Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ange if you haven't met me before, and today I'm going to be doing a collective plant haul and also an update on my grow tent. So the first half of this haul, I'm going to show you all the new plants that I've got that I keep outside of my tent, just around my house. And then the second half, I'm going to show you all the new plants in my tent and also give you some updates on how all my plants are doing. So definitely stick around for the second half of this video. I would say recently I've been pretty good with the amount of plants that I'm buying. I mean, I am a little bit broke after that whole Christmas period, so that's probably the reason, but I haven't gotten too many new plants. This is probably an accumulation from a few weeks now, I would say. So let's just jump into the plant haul. So the first plant I'm going to show you guys is this plant that I bought yesterday from Bunnings, and it is a plant that I have wanted for a very long time. I also actually tried to get Bunnings to special order it for me and it just never came. So I was so happy to see it in store yesterday, and I'm going to completely butcher the name. It is a Schismatoglottis wellichi, I believe. So it just looks like that. So however you want to pronounce it, I am not familiar with this plant family at all. I just saw people on Facebook grabbing this plant from Bunnings a few months ago and I just thought it was absolutely stunning. It has these really long elongated heart-shaped leaves and that amazing variegation. It has a few sadder leaves on the bottom that I think are going to die off soon, but it is showing new growth, so I'm not too fussed about that. But I just think it is absolutely gorgeous and definitely not a plant that I see get talked about a lot, and it was really affordable. So here is one to add to your wish list if you like it. It is absolutely beautiful. If you do know how to take care of this plant, then definitely let me know. I mean, from the tag, it just says bright indirect light, that kind of basic plant care. But if you know any specific tips, then I would definitely be interested in hearing that. The second plant I got from Bunnings, but this was about 2 weeks-ish ago, is the Ficus umbellata, I believe. Umbellata, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I saw this a little while back in one of my tours of Flower Power, but it was just too big, and then I found this smaller version and I knew I had to have it. So it's the same family as your fiddle-leaf figs and your rubber trees, but the leaves are little hearts. I know it's just a basic green heart, but I just thought it was so dang cute. And the leaves get really big. The one that I saw before, the hearts were as big as my head. So this definitely turns into a tree later on. So it's kind of nice to start off with something so small and then you can watch it thrive and grow and then you feel so proud of it. But yeah, that is the second plant I got and I think it is so cute. The next two plants I'm going to show you, you may recognize from one of my recent plant tours, but I thought I would show it here in case you missed that video. And the first one is this absolutely gorgeous Monstera adansonii, but it is the monkey mask variety, which means it's a little bit more compact and clumpy instead of vining and really leggy, I guess. So I wanted this one for a while. I just thought that I love how close the leaves are all together. You can see that it's just very compact, which is something that I thought would be cute for a shelf and maybe just training up a moss pole at some point when it gets big. But I put it in this little pot I got from Daiso for $2.90. I absolutely love Daiso for pots. So if you're ever around Daiso, definitely check them out because they have some really cute, affordable little pots around. This one does have 2 growth points in the pot, but I can honestly say in the past few weeks I've had it, it's done pretty much nothing. So I'm just gonna let it chill, but I do think it is so cute. And the last new plant that I have to show you that is not currently in my grow tent is this caladium. And it doesn't actually say what kind of caladium it is, it just says caladium assorted. But I saw these gorgeous pink leaves and I just could not say no. It did have a larger leaf growing when I bought it, but I knocked it off when I was vacuuming my house, so that was a little bit sad. But we do have lots of new little baby leaves coming out. It is really interesting how the leaves come out a little bit more green first, and then when they mature they get a little bit more pinky, but it is absolutely stunning. I'm definitely a caladium newbie. I don't know how to take care of them at all, so I'm not going to give you any tips. In fact, if you have any tips for me, then I would love to hear them, or if you know what variety this is, I would love to know. But it is absolutely gorgeous, and so far it has been surviving. I mean, my hair's in it, so That's cute. But this is definitely one of my new favorite plants. Like, I could just look at it and be happy and look at its pink little leaves, and I am loving it. So I thought that I would give you a little tour of my grow tent and all the new plants that I have living in there. So let's go jump over there and have a look. All right guys, so here we are outside of my grow tent. It is just right by my couch. So let's open her up. I already unzipped it before. And this is what it currently looks like inside. So I want to say I keep my lights on for about 8 to 12 hours a day. I am a little bit paranoid and I only have the lights on when I'm actually at home or if Stephen's at home. So yeah, that is a factor too. If I'm not at home, then the lights don't really go on. But I would say around 8 to 12 hours. And it has changed a little bit from my last video of me setting up this grow tent. But I can say that I am absolutely loving it. I was a little bit hesitant at first because it is a little bit like unsightly and really large, but to be honest, my plants have been thriving inside of it. So I will definitely give you a close-up on all the plants that I have inside. So I'm going to start off with all the newer plants I have in my collection, and this one might be also familiar if you saw one of my latest plant tours, and this is my Alocasia cuprea. This is the red secret version. And it is absolutely thriving in this grow tent. It is looking a little bit dry, so I am gonna have to water that. Surprisingly, all the plants in here dry out quite quickly. I thought that it would be really humid and it would stay wet, but no, they're drying out quite fast. So that is something that I have to keep on top of. But it has put out, I believe, 2 leaves since it's been in this tent. This one with the damage was already unfurling, so that one unfurled. Then we have this gorgeous one, and now we have a new leaf. But this is absolutely stunning. It's definitely one of my favorite alocasias right now, so I'm hoping that I don't kill it. But it's absolutely thriving in this grow tent, and you can see a lot of new growth is just like popping out of the bottom. Ooh, I just love looking at those white, sexy new roots. The next plant that I have, which is a new addition, is this Alocasia. This is a green shield, I think. Yeah, it's the Alocasia green shield. I found this one at Bunnings about 2 weeks ago and I fell in love with it. It looks very reminiscent of like a dragon scale, which is right next to it. But it has a little bit of a lighter kind of coloring to it. But it was absolutely stunning, and this one again is absolutely loving the tent. It has just put out this newest leaf, so it is still hardening off. Yeah, but this is one of my newest babies and I'm absolutely in love with it. I pretty much suck at taking care of Alocasia, so I don't know why I buy so many. I think I love them, but they don't really love me back. So yeah, I think the tent is probably the best place for me to keep them. So the next newest plant I got is this caladium, and I actually got it from Foliage Freak. If you have seen a lot of my plant hauls before, you'll be familiar with Foliage Freak. I get a lot of my plants from her, but she did not know the variety of this caladium, and I'm not sure obviously either. So if you know what it is, then definitely let me know. It just has this absolutely stunning variegation to the leaves. These 2 leaves have came out while they've been in the tent, but as you can see, the variegation is not as intense as this leaf here. So I'm not sure if that's something to do with it maturing or if it's just kind of getting too much light, but I do think it is thriving. Like, it's putting out 2 new leaves in the space of about 2 weeks. So that is one of my newest plant babies. And the last newest baby I have is this gorgeous caladium in the corner. So let me just grab it. And again, this beauty is from Foliage Freak. The leaf got a little bit bent in shipping, so don't mind that, but it is absolutely stunning. Again, she didn't know the variety, and obviously I don't either, but this one hasn't really been doing much in the tent, so this is one of the only plants that's kind of just chilling out. I think it's just recovering. It's not dying or anything, but it's definitely not doing much in the tent. But I absolutely love it, and if you know what variety it is, then definitely let me know. So a lot of these other plants that I have were put in here when I set up the tent. So I thought I would just give you a little bit of an update on it, and I can tell you that there is a lot of new growth. So firstly, we have this Hoya obovata Splash, and her leaves were just dropping off like crazy. Every time it put out a new growth, it would just fall off. And you can see that we've got all of this new growth, and also this one here. So I'm very, very happy with this. Like, it was just not doing anything when it wasn't in the tent, and now it's actually supporting itself. So I'm so, so happy with that. I don't know if it's like extra humidity or just extra light is making it kind of do its thing, but it is stunning, and I'm so happy that it's thriving in this tent. All right, side note, the next plant that I'm going to talk about is this Alocasia Silver Dragon, but I see spider mites. So if you don't know what spider mites look like, that is what they look like. There's a bit of webbing and there's like white dots on it. This is just so common for me. Alocasias always get spider mites, so I'm definitely gonna have to treat that right now after I finish this video. But I mean, apart from that, this plant has been doing fine, so we're gonna pop that in isolation to the side. And I think I'm gonna actually check all my other plants to see if there's anything else I need to clean up. So this next plant I'm going to chat about is this Philodendron gloriosum, and if you are familiar with my channel, you might know that I do not get along with this plant. Like, I love it, but it has not been growing for me. And I can say that after being in this tent, it has put out 2 new leaves. So it's this one and this one here. I could not be more happy. Like, it was just doing nothing for so long, and now it is absolutely thriving. It did have a bit of spider mite damage from 2 weeks ago, I want to say. I did find a little bit of webbing on the back, so I treated that. So you can probably see that the leaf is a little bit damaged. Spider mites are just a killer. But other than that, it is absolutely thriving, and you can see that the leaves are actually getting bigger. So exciting. So that is definitely one of my favorites. I do also want to chat about the propagations that I've been doing in this tent. So I'm a person that does chop and prop a lot. Like, I just find it so fun, and I like to kind of bush out the plants that I have. I can let you know that my propagations have been rooting up so much quicker in this tent than if it's just kind of out in the normal room. So these propagations here I took about 2 weeks ago. So I've got a Philodendron Campos potuanum and also a Syngonium batik in some water, and you can see, look at this root growth. Like, I would probably say that's ready to be potted up. I mean, it is ready to be potted up, but I kind of just wanted to wait till I finished filming this video first. So this tent is amazing. I am absolutely in love with how well my plants are doing, and especially my propagations. I also have some micans here propagating in some water. Again, about 2 weeks. No, this one's probably about 3 weeks, and look at that root growth. I'm so stoked. The last plants I'm going to chat about are going to be these 2 Hoyas. So this Hoya I put in here when I first set up the tent, and it was 2 rooted cuttings that hadn't grown anything yet. And we have a growth point here and a growth point here. So we have all these new leaves. We also have new growth on my Hoya Hindu rope, the variegated version. I have 3 new leaves, and this one did not do anything for months. 4 months. So I am absolutely insanely happy with that. The rest of the plants are definitely putting out new growth, like this one and this one, but I wouldn't say it's anything faster or more amazing than if it was outside in like the normal world. So I will say that they're thriving in here, but you know, like, I'm just more happy about these Hoyas because they were doing nothing for so long.
Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, then please hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye.